YouTube lang talaga yun. Wait lang, load muna ako ha. Tingnan ko muna.
I made this Sekai game using only 4 words, and you can too. Sekai lets you play AI-powered games people create.
Where is Boxy Boo? Where is Candy Cat? Where is Daisy? Because if you really think about it, we see their posters everywhere in the factory. We see them in VHS tapes. We see them mentioned in lore, but they never actually appear in the game. So where are they? Are they still alive? Let's start with Boxy Boo. The first time we properly see Boxy Boo in action is in the Hour of Joy VHS tape. And what do we see? Him brutally devouring employees whole. That confirms one thing for sure. He was alive during the Hour of Joy. And here's something even more important. In the Hour of Joy tape, we see a total of 7 major characters: Huggy Wuggy, Mommy Longlegs, Catnap, Kissy Missy, and Boxy Boo. Now think about this. Every single one of those characters, except Boxy Boo, we encounter in the main story. That's not a coincidence. If the developers included him in that tape, he's important. Otherwise, they wouldn't have placed him alongside the main antagonist. So where is he now? Is he still alive? This is where things get interesting. In Safe Haven, we can see lots of paintings drawn by the surviving friendly toys. In one of those murals, Boxy Boo appears. On the right side of the painting, there's also a figure that looks like Pianosaurus. But notice something important. Boxy Boo's face is scratched out. That detail
could mean the toys believe Boxy Boo is dead.
Now some of you might be wondering, if that's true, why isn't Pianosaurus's face scratched out too? After all, we saw Doughy kill him. But here's the key difference. Doughy killed Pianosaurus only a few minutes ago. The friendly toys likely don't even know he's dead yet. As far as they're concerned, Pianosaurus could still be alive. However, Boxy Boo's face is deliberately crossed out. That suggests the toys already believed he was gone, possibly killed during the toy war, and possibly long before we even arrived at the factory. But not everyone agrees with that theory. Some fans argue that the mural isn't even Boxy Boo. They say it could just be a random orphan drawing, not confirmation of his death. And honestly, that makes sense too. Because let's be real, Boxy Boo might be one of the strongest bigger bodies ever created. To kill him, you would need someone extremely powerful, maybe the prototype. So if anyone could defeat Boxy Boo, it would be someone at that level. And think about it, why would the prototype kill Boxy Boo? There are a lot of theories. Just like the prototype took the bodies of Mommy Longlegs and Catnap to build himself, he may have killed and assimilated parts of Boxy Boo, but we don't see any Boxy Boo body parts attached to the prototype. We can clearly see Catnap's fur and Mommy Longlegs' hand attached to him, but there are no visible parts from Boxy Boo. So maybe that means the prototype didn't kill him. Boxy Boo was known for having a voracious appetite and being extremely aggressive, even attacking other experiments. So maybe he attacked someone like Doughy, and we know how strong Doughy is. He killed Pianosaurus in a few seconds. So maybe Boxy Boo attacked Doughy, and Doughy killed him. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When someone asked Isaac, one of the creators of Poppy Playtime, if there were ever plans for Boxy Boo to appear in a chapter, he replied with something very important. Kind of. It could still happen. That means there was always a plan, and it still hasn't been ruled out. So Boxy Boo might not be dead. He might just be waiting. But realistically, if he does return, it might not be as a full main antagonist. It could be an Easter egg, or a short appearance, similar to how they brought Brawn back briefly in Chapter 5. And now, let's talk about Daisy. Daisy is a marionette-style toy shaped like a daisy flower. We see her posters all around Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. In one poster, she's standing with PJ Pugapillar. In another, she's shown with her siblings. And the slogan says, "Get in touch with nature." She was clearly meant to be important. We even see a memorial statue of her in the game station. And in Chapter 2, we hear her cardboard cutout speak.
I'm rooting for you! Get it? Root? You wrong, bud! Aren't you glad you're best friends? Hey, bud, how's it going?
But here's the strange part. A bigger bodies version of Daisy actually appears in the official Chapter 2 trailer. Yet in the final game, she never physically appears. So what happened? In Chapter 2, we find rejection notes about Daisy. And in those notes, it clearly says, reason for rejection. Too scary for young children. Children in test audiences cry during Daisy's performance. That's huge. It means Daisy was originally planned to have a bigger role. And developers even confirmed that Daisy was supposed to be the main antagonist protagonist for the musical memory game, but she was replaced by Bunzo Bunny because the team wanted something more thematic for that specific room. So most likely, Daisy's story ended in Chapter 2 during development. She became a cut character, and with only one chapter possibly left in the series, it's hard to believe they'll suddenly bring her back as a major villain. Now let's talk about Candy Cat. Candy Cat has a round, pale blue body, white paws, and 3 wheels on her stomach so children could roll her around. She also has a cardboard cutout in Chapter 2 where we hear her voice line.
Click the button to feed me candy. Hum nom nom. Feed me more. Hum nom nom nom. Hum nom 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 nom. Okay, no more candy. My tummy's full. Hum nom nom. Stop! Hum nom nom.
But here's the most important detail. In Chapter 2, assessment forms reveal that an orphan girl named Michaela Hyssop was assigned to the Candy Cat experiment during her time at the game station. That confirms Candy Cat was turned into a bigger bodies experiment. So unlike Daisy, Candy Cat wasn't just a toy, she became something much darker. And yet, we still haven't encountered her in the main story. So what happened? Was she killed by another experiment during the chaos? Or is she still somewhere deep inside the factory? Right now, we can't say for sure. Now let's talk about Catbee. We first see Catbee as a toy in Chapter 1. In fact, we're forced to use the Make a Friend machine to build a Catbee toy just so we can scan it as a key card and leave the room. Then in Chapter 2, we even see her cardboard cutout.
Meow, 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 but to be or not to be? That is the question. Don't make me sting you. I'll do it. You need to get out of here. Just kidding. Go have fun.
But things get darker when we look at the early CCTV footage. In one of the recordings, we can see a bloody Catbee toy, which immediately raises a question. Who killed Catbee? For a long time, that was a complete mystery. But Chapter 5 changes everything. It strongly confirms that the prototype turned Preston into Catbee. So Catbee wasn't just a toy. She became a bigger bodies experiment. And if the CCTV footage shows Catbee dead, that likely means someone killed her after the transformation. We just don't know who. Was it another experiment? Was it the prototype himself? Right now, we can't say for sure. But if Catbee is truly dead, then she's probably not coming back in future chapters, which means her story might already be over. So that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments. Did I miss any other missing characters? And click on the end screen video right here. In that video, I explain what might
Now I'm playing my singing monster. Or is it? Ganun. Ano? Wait. In Puppy Playtime Chapter 5. Puppy Playtime Chapter 5. Oh.